Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm excited to share our latest product innovation with you today. Our mission at Bloomberg Law is to solve the most complex attorney workflow challenges and deliver solutions that empower attorneys to work more efficiently and effectively. We've done this with numerous award-winning technologies over the years. Today, we're taking on the biggest challenges facing in-house legal departments: drafting, negotiating, and managing contracts. These inefficient and tedious manual tasks have plagued attorneys for decades, and the solutions in the market have failed to deliver on their promises. Well, I'm excited to tell you that those days are over. Our new product, Contract Solutions, is built from the ground up for in-house legal departments. But we're not just going to talk about it today. We're going to show you what we mean. You'll also hear from some of our customers about how our solution is helping them master their contract workflows. But first, let's hear a bit more from Bloomberg Law's Head of Product Management, Todd Barton, and how we're taking a fresh approach to solving these problems.
Thanks, Joe. So you might be asking, wait, another contract management tool? Isn't that market already really crowded? You'd be right. There are a lot of contract products to choose from that claim to end corporate lawyers' contract management and drafting problems for good. But we aren't convinced. Through surveys and countless conversations with the attorneys doing this work every day, we've learned that the corporate legal market is still largely unsatisfied with what's currently available. For example, in a recent survey we conducted with over 100 in-house attorneys, nearly 75% reported that their current solutions don't meet their needs. So what's the problem? Well, there are three main themes driving this discontent. First, existing contract management solutions are resource-intensive, not just in terms of actual cost, but the time and effort it takes to successfully implement them and onboard users. In fact, many of the people we spoke to reported not even getting past the initial onboarding phase before giving up altogether on a solution. Second, they're too difficult to use. Complicated interfaces and workflows frustrate users and discourage regular use. So much so that we've spoken to attorneys who've reverted back to their old ways of doing things, even though they were manual and inefficient. Third, and most importantly, they're just not built with attorney workflows in mind, meaning they're not specifically designed to simplify the most time-consuming tasks of drafting, negotiating, and analyzing the hundreds, if not thousands, of legal documents that cross an in-house lawyer's desk every year. So in short, they take too much effort to implement, they're difficult to use, they're not built for attorneys. We heard these themes repeatedly in our interviews. It was from these conversations that we determined the market needs a contract management solution built for attorneys, by attorneys. So, we partnered with numerous corporate legal departments who provided invaluable feedback throughout our development process to ensure our software actually addresses the most critical challenges and needs of the people we built it for, you. The result of that process is the product you've been waiting for, a solution that starts delivering value to your department on day one. You won't have to wait months to see the impact. A solution that's easy to use. Our intuitive and simple interface seamlessly integrates AI-powered features into your workflow, so you can focus on legal work, not paperwork. And most importantly, a solution specifically designed for in-house attorneys, allowing them to efficiently store, manage, draft, negotiate, and analyze their contracts. We know that many of you have been searching for a solution like this for a long time, or maybe you're one of the many departments unsatisfied with your current solution. So enough talk, let's see it in action. Here's Andrew Gilman, our lead product manager for Contract Solutions, who will show you what we've been working on.
Thanks, Todd, and thank you to everyone for joining us today. If I had to explain in the simplest possible way the value of this product, I would say this. It allows attorneys and legal departments to access and leverage their collection of contracts and clauses on day one with little effort or training. To achieve this, we had to solve an array of workflow and technological inefficiencies around storing, searching, drafting, negotiating, and analyzing contracts. We realized we needed to build a contract drafting and analysis interface into Microsoft Word, where attorneys spend so much of their time, and a web interface for an easy way to centrally store, organize, search, and report on their contracts. The first thing you notice when you open the web app is its streamlined interface. But don't be fooled by its simplicity. Its infrastructure was built from the ground up, with privacy and data security at the top of mind. Everything stored and accessed from our system is encrypted both at rest and in transit. You can see your most recently modified contracts at the top, and below the search bar, you can see the contracts that have been added to your centralized cloud-based repository. Everything about this platform is designed to get you what you need quickly and to get you on your way with as little time and effort as possible. You can easily filter your contracts to find exactly what you're looking for. You can use our facets on the left to get a filtered view of everything that meets your selected criteria, which could include attributes like termination dates within a specified range, the contract's owner, the counterparty, the type of contract, the status, like contracts awaiting review by the other side, or contracts that are executed and in effect, and lots of other attributes as well. This robust system also powers our advanced natural language search capabilities, vastly reducing the time you'll spend looking for needles in your haystack of contracts. If you're looking for a particular word or phrase, just type it in the search bar and it'll return matching results ordered by relevance. So let's say I'm looking for a master services agreement with those keywords. I can select that value on the left, and you can see there's just one master service agreement in my company's repository containing those keywords. In an instant, you can easily access details about the contract and its various attributes, including general contract information, as well as details about its legal terms and obligations. Below that, you'll see a preview of the contract. Looking at the preview, you might notice that there are 3 files associated with this contract. The first is a Word document that contains the terms and conditions of the MSA itself. The second is a PDF, which contains an exhibit listing out insurance requirements, and the third is a signature page. Each of these files, in turn, may have multiple versions associated with them. Our version history function allows you to view all previous saved versions. From here, I can add additional versions, delete versions, save them as templates, which I'll touch on in a minute, and if I want, I can promote a previous version to the latest version. Now let's go back to the contract details. When you first upload your files, you're given the option to add general information about the contract. Those attributes can be changed at any time. You can capture more complex legal terms and obligations in the data points section below. And you can always add more attributes manually before the contract is finalized. Once the contract is signed and the status is changed to in effect, our proprietary large language model automatically scans your contract and attempts to identify and extract key dates and contract terms in order to offer them as suggestions. For example, when I go to add this contract's effective date, you can see that the algorithm is suggesting a date based on its analysis of the document's contents. If you agree with that suggestion, you can accept it or add your own date. As I mentioned earlier, we want to get you up and running on this product on day 1. This is not a machine learning platform where you need to spend weeks or months training an AI model yourself. We're not interested in creating a complicated solution to replace your legal judgment. Where we think the system can provide something meaningful, it does so as a suggestion and leaves the decision-making to you. Finally, you may have noticed this little indication on the top right that shows there are 2 linked child contracts. Since this is a master service agreement, it was linked as the parent contract to 2 separate work orders, each of which can be easily accessed directly from the parent agreement. And of course, you can access the master service agreement from each of these child contracts as well. Moving back over to the landing page, if you want to compare attributes across multiple contracts, we make that super easy. Just select the contracts you want to compare, and a table will be generated for you with the various data points as rows and contracts as columns. You can also export this data to an Excel workbook. The second tab across the top is a separate repository for your templates. This is where your department can store templates, and users can instantly create contracts on the system based on them. The third tab is for clauses, which are sort of the atomic unit when attorneys draft and negotiate contracts. Since they play such a central role in the drafting and negotiating process, we wanted to make it super easy to locate and reuse or compare individual clauses from a company's collection of finalized contracts. Once a contract is executed and its status is changed to reflect that it's now in effect, our system automatically processes, analyzes, and parses the contract so it can understand its structure. It then identifies and extracts each individual clause and paragraph from all of your finalized contracts. This allows us to build a full library of clauses your company has agreed to without any setup, data entry, or effort from you. Searching across your automatically generated clause repository, instead of searching across full contracts, will allow you to find individual clauses that match your keywords instead of hoping your keywords happen to show up in the clause you're interested in. We also let you store your favorite clauses that you want quick and easy access to in your My Clauses list. As we all know, attorneys who edit and negotiate contracts every day are spending the bulk of their time in Word. So we brought all of this functionality and a lot more right where an attorney needs it through our Word 365 add-in, which is really easy to download and install directly from the Microsoft Store. Available for both the browser and the desktop versions of Word, the add-in gives you access to your full library of contracts and clauses, each of which can be browsed and accessed directly from Word. Once installed, you'll see Bloomberg Law as an option in the menu bar, which when selected, gives you access to an array of our contract-specific features. You can access all the contracts you've added to your repository, and just like in the web app, you're able to search your contracts from here and click into a contract record to see all the details, including its associated attributes, which can be added or modified directly from here. You can also browse and open any of the files associated with the contract from here as well. Next, you get access to all your company's clauses in addition to your personal favorites in Word, just like in the web app. This is a searchable list, so if you're looking for a specific clause, you could just enter the terms you need into the search bar, and it'll filter your list to the clauses you're interested in. When you find the clause you need, it can be easily copied into your contract or added to your favorites list. Again, your personal favorite clauses are all available in your My Clauses tab, so you have ready access to them whenever they're needed. These are essential and time-saving features when you're drafting, but we saw an opportunity to go even further in helping you find and leverage prior contract language so you can more quickly and effectively finalize deals. As an attorney is reviewing or editing a clause, it's important to understand how similar language was handled in the past, both by your own legal department and by other parties to transactions under similar circumstances. Our natural language processing algorithm is able to identify clauses based not just on their syntax and word choice, but based on the actual meaning of the clause. So all you need to do to find examples of similar clauses is select the text in Word and ask the software to do the hard work for you. This will identify every similar clause, either from the millions of publicly available contracts attached as exhibits to SEC filings, or from your company's own clause database, which, as I mentioned earlier, is populated for you automatically. It then provides you with results, ordered by similarity with the most similar at the top. But you may want to limit your clauses to a specific industry, contract type, or some other attribute. Our filters let you do exactly that. The analysis engine then allows you to run a quick comparison and see how your language differs from the results. This displays a red line to show you all the places your clause and the public clause differ. Finding publicly filed examples is great if you're working with third-party paper or drafting the kind of contract you don't already have lots of examples of in your repository. But if it's your paper and you're trying to find alternative language or understand what your organization has accepted in the past, then you could run the same analysis over your own clause database. Selecting My Company clauses allows you to see all the affiliate definitions from all of your finalized contracts. And just as with the public contracts, you can filter your results and view the red line comparisons here too. As we talk to attorneys who spend hours every day working with contracts, another inefficiency that kept coming up had to do with definitions. Not as a kind of easily measurable, discrete task, but the accumulation of small inefficiencies over time. To read and fully understand a contract's terms, an attorney needs to constantly flip back and forth in the contract in a never-ending treasure hunt for definitions. And the lawyers listening in know that there's nothing worse than finding a definition only to discover 3 more defined terms embedded within it. I think it's fair to say that we solved this problem. All you need to do is tell the add-in to show you the defined terms, and our definition lookup feature identifies each, highlights them, and finds the definition. The blue highlighting in this contract shows all the defined terms. So now, as you're reviewing the document and encounter defined terms, you just need to click them once, and you'll see a card appear on the right with the definition. As you can see, the definition of confidential information itself includes a number of defined terms, each of which is also clickable. But our definition analysis doesn't stop there. We also display a list of potential issues and errors, so if you drafted this agreement, you can ensure no mistakes were made, which could cause ambiguity or confusion. With a single mouse click, you can see that our system identified 5 potential issue types for this contract. For example, it found some terms that got defined in the agreement but were never actually used. It also found terms that were defined more than once, which is a potentially serious issue, and other potential issues as well. As many of you know, Bloomberg Law, in addition to all of its other amazing primary and secondary content, has an ever-growing library of practice tools and practical guidance focused on contract drafting. Bloomberg Law customers get seamless access to those materials from within Contract Solutions. So if you're drafting an NDA in Word and need some sample forms or checklists, or just want a broad overview of potential issues, all of that information is packaged and available for you right here in Word with quick links, so you get the materials and you get all of the answers you need while drafting. Our collection of guidance and our product features are always expanding. Staying true to our business model, innovation is always included, so you can expect continuous product enhancements without upsells. And now here's James Choi from our Solutions Consulting team to share user feedback from our innovation partners and first customers. Take it away, James.
Thanks, Andrew. In my role as a solutions consultant, I work directly with our innovation partners who helped us build this amazing product, as well as our new customers. It's my job to ensure our implementation and onboarding run smoothly, so customers realize the full potential our products have to offer. Through this process, I've seen and heard how transformative Contract Solutions is for users and its impact on their organizations. From all my conversations, there are three major themes I've heard repeatedly. First is the ease of use. I can't tell you how often I've heard things like, "Someone's finally built the product I've always wanted," or "I'm no longer drowning in contracts." Customers love that we have removed the complexity and delivered a solution that helps them work smarter and faster. Second is our Word app. One customer told me, "You had me at Word." Our customers are so happy they don't have to seesaw between Microsoft Word and a separate contract management system. Lastly is our customer service. Although our software is smart and intuitive, implementing any new technology requires support. Customers rave about our world-class support team who help get you up and running quickly. These are just three of the main things I've heard from our users so far, but don't take my word for it. Listen to what these customers have to say.
I think the biggest challenges that I've faced with contract drafting and negotiation is really just consistency in the drafting and in the terminology. Even when you're incredibly familiar with your client's business, when you review so many documents coming from so many different directions, you look at a lot of words, you look at a lot of language. And so probably about a year ago, I realized that I needed a contract drafting solution.
The big inflection point for us was probably once we found out there was going to be a merger between a competitor and us, we realized that was a very good time for us to deploy some new technology to try to map things over and standardize our documents as we go out into the market. By using the Bloomberg tool, we felt that that would be one way that we could eliminate any sort of conflicting documents that might exist.
I want the ability to store our contracts in a logical way that makes sense when we're later trying to go and find prior examples or templates for future use or good examples of how we handled a particular contractual situation in the past.
One of the things that stood out about Contract Solutions was that they were bringing something new to the market. We haven't seen anything quite like this in terms of the Microsoft Word plugin and the seamless integration that we've had.
I find it incredibly useful that Contract Solutions integrates directly with Word. The ability to get at everything that I need right there in Word while I'm working on it, I can't possibly overstate the value of that to me.
The biggest functionality for me is being able to search for sample clauses inside the tool. When you're drafting, you can bounce around to a lot of tools looking for a sample clause that fits what you want. But here, I don't have to leave Word to find what I'm looking for. It's there, whether it's in my clauses or the clauses that Bloomberg provides. I don't have to go anywhere to look for it.
It's been very helpful for us to be able to have one window open with a particular document and to be able to work within that atmosphere. It does save a considerable amount of time.
The other functionality that stood out to me immediately was the ability to identify clauses that didn't necessarily have a referential point, like a defined term without a definition. I don't know a single lawyer that hasn't struggled with that, so that's just the biggest gift, I think.
We find the way that Contract Solutions uses AI in the clause identification tool to be very helpful for our team because we don't have to do the guesswork of figuring out whether or not there's a modification to our agreement that is requiring our attention.
It seems to have struck that right balance of making my job easier without trying to do my job for me.
Bloomberg Contract Solutions enables you to think more clearly. It enables you to be more focused in your negotiations with a counterparty.
With Contract Solutions in particular, I can say, whatever your problem happens to be with contracts, this tool is probably going to help you.
I would say give it a shot because it is very reasonably priced. It is a product that is very effective. It will save you time. It will make you a better attorney. It'll give you more opportunities to provide your thoughtful response.
I would tell my colleagues they should be buying this tool. The fact that Contract Solutions is plugging into Microsoft Word and it's where they do their work. It's coming to them where they are.
Thank you all for watching. And thank you to all our innovation partners and early adopters for collaborating with us to ensure Contract Solutions delivers on its promise to solve the most pressing contract workflow challenges facing in-house counsel. At the end of the day, we understand that legal work is complicated, but the technology you use shouldn't be. As you've seen, we've made it easy to implement, use, and realize the impact of our product. Request a demo or contact your representative today to see how Contract Solutions can work for you.